This is the briefing for Monday, August 10th. Well, CPI numbers are out on Wednesday, and it appears the stock indices have decided to just pause and really not do much of anything going into that CPI number. It comes out 8:30 Eastern Time, and certainly it will have a big impact, depending on what the numbers are, on the determination of value on the part of traders and investors. But what the market is doing right now is giving us some potentially good areas of trade location. You can see the rotational pattern. This is, I guess, about 4 days of trading right through here. This is the spiders on a 60-minute basis. So you can see if we were to break out of this 775 area, that would be a pretty significant event, because that would then suggest that on a longer term basis that it has already broken out of a 760 key reference area, and that it would potentially be a pretty explosive move to the upside. On the contrary, if the market tests and comes down to the 767 area and breaks through that, then that would suggest then that we're going to see some type of a greater degree time and price counter trend rotation to this rally right through here. Same thing with the Qs, looking at this high right around the 726 area and the low coming in right around the 708 area. This would be very important, because this is convictive buying on this day, because you got the gap up and then that long candle, buying candle that came in. So that would suggest, if that were to happen, that potentially something is developing in a greater degree time and price rotation to the downside. If buyers don't step in and defend this gap and drive price back up, that would be something pretty significant to watch out for. And in the IWM representing the Russell, we're looking at the 302 area as upside resistance for a potential breakout to the upside. And then we're looking at about the 297 area. And again, watch this gap. That's convictive buying. And then, of course, we had this convictive buying, but that was already retraced. But you can see it held right through here. So watch what happens with that as well. Looking at the daily charts, this is the breakout I was talking about. This happened about a week ago. And then, of course, we had a little bit of follow through, then a rotation back down. And then, of course, we're looking at just the last 3 trading days of rotation. Now, you can see what's happened with volume in the spiders falling off pretty dramatically. 52-week highs minus 52-week lows, only 125 shares positive. Breadth negative. So really there's no strength in the indices right now from an internal perspective. But that can change in either direction. That's why potentially we have this rotational pattern, is because there's no strength in buyers and there's no strength in sellers right now either. In terms of the Qs, we're looking at a potential breakout area of the 727. Upside resistance comes in about the 747 area. Volume just extremely low, breadth negative. And the same thing is true with the IWM representing the Russell. You can see the rotational pattern right at this upper extreme at the 302 area. And then, of course, downside support comes in at 288 area in the IWM. Let's look at the Dow and the transports. Yeah, this Dow divergence or Dow non-confirmation is still in effect, because you can see the industrials made this new high, a little bit of a correction right here, but the industrials did not confirm that high. So we still have that Dow non-confirmation that's lingering out there as well. In terms of overbought and oversold, we're neutral, gives the market the potential to move in either direction. Not a real help as when we get to an extreme oversold or an extreme overbought condition. It gives us a pretty good high percentage probability of a rotation or a continuation of a trend. And then in terms of total volume, which is most extremely important, NYSE volume's ticking up slightly, but you can see how low it is. I mean, this is really trending at the lowest levels that the NYSE has traded at. NASDAQ volume down also. NYSE volume, or net volume, I should say, negative, only 4,800 shares. 45,000 shares positive in the NASDAQ, but still net volume down, even though volume was down as well. So it's pretty easy to see that there's no strength in either direction right now. It's very easy to get chopped up in a pattern like this, in a rotational pattern like this. So the best to sit on your hands if you're trading the indices. And when we do get a break, what those areas of good trade location are certainly the areas I talked about, the upper extreme and the lower extreme of this rotation. And if there is a break in one direction or another, good stop management would say you don't want to see it back in this rotational pattern. Because that would then classify it as a false breakout, and you're going to see potentially rotation back through the pattern. Expect some volatility first thing Wednesday morning, but then things will settle down after the numbers get released, and we'll see what happens or what the intermediate term prognosis is, along with a suspected analysis of the market internals that would support a move in either direction, depending on what those numbers are. Have a great night, and I'll pick this up tomorrow. Probably another short briefing because I expect we're going to see just the continuation of this rotation that we saw in today's trading. But if anything significant happens, we'll certainly discuss that. Have a great night.